Good evening, and welcome to Numpty News, the only bulletin brave enough to ask, if a fake government agency gets real money, can your nan set up a ministry of sausage and claim for a swivel chair? Tonight's top story comes from Nigeria, where officials are reportedly in a right old flap after a completely made-up federal agency was somehow set up inside government headquarters and even got funding. That's right. Not a ghost, not a typo, but an actual pretend office squatting into corridors of power like a drunk uncle at Christmas who's nicked a gravy boat. Exclusive. Shocked readers told us this is exactly the sort of carry-on you'd expect if you let Barry from accounts run the country with a stamp pad and a packet of custard creams. In scenes reminiscent of a parish raffle organised by concussed ferrets, the phantom body allegedly existed long enough to get itself noticed, funded, and presumably fitted with a kettle no one cleans. Our first witness is Brenda Wopplethwaite, female, a self-appointed paperwork sniffer from Doncaster.
I could smell summit fishy straight off. No proper office has nowt but 3 blokes, a laminator, and a sign what's blue tacked on crooked. That's not a department, love. That's a school jumble sale with letterheads.
Numpty News can also reveal the public reaction has ranged from fury to the sort of exhausted shrug usually reserved for finding a toenail in your chip butty. Enter Colin Muckspanner, male, part-time security guard, and full-time gobshite philosopher. If I walked into town hall, called myself deputy minister for croissants, and asked for $6,000 and a parking space, they'd boot me into next Tuesday. But these crafty sods slap on a badge, and suddenly everybody's saluting like it's the Ministry of Important Folders. Investigations are now underway, which in government language means 15 people will stare at a printer, suck air through their teeth, and ask whose cousin signed off on the biscuits. Numpty News understands the imaginary agency may have had funding, offices, and enough official polish to fool people who really ought to know better. Local outrage has been amplified by Mavis Crumbucket, female, an amateur anti-corruption campaigner and bingo enforcer, who gave us her verdict while aggressively buttering a tea cake.
It's disgraceful. I've seen more rigorous screening at our meat raffle. If some pillock can invent a whole office in Government HQ, I'm starting the National Council for Sensible Trousers first thing tomorrow.
And because no farce is complete without a man who thinks he can improve it, we dragged in Terry Puddleduck, male, a former stationery clerk who now describes himself as a consultant in strategic nonsense.
To be fair, fake offices do save time. Nobody answers emails, nobody solves out, and everyone gets paid. That's not fraud, that's efficiency with a moustache.
So there we have it. One phantom agency, a load of very real cash, and enough red faces to light Blackpool illuminations. As investigators rummage through to wreckage of this administrative clown car, Numpty News asks to question on every taxpayer's lips. Who, exactly, is minding to bloody shop, and are they even real? Stay tuned after to break, when Colin attempts to register to Department of Pies, Knees, and Maritime Gravy. And to make sure that doesn't miss out on tomorrow's Numpty News, please subscribe.